Well, we're back at the practice courts with the coach of Simona Halep, also working for ESPN here at the Championships, Darren Cahill. Darren, thanks for joining us. We'll start with the coaching role first. How's Simona preparing for the Championships?
Well, she's coming off a pretty good 6 weeks. She had a good win across in Madrid and then got to the fourth round in Paris. Real slow day in Paris with the rain falling for a couple of weeks. That was tough for all the players, and she got beat by a player who played better on the day in Sam Stosur. But no grass court matches coming into Wimbledon. Had a small Achilles problem in Birmingham, but she's been practicing for the last 4 or 5 days, about 3.5 hours on the court today. No problems with it. She's confident filling the ball, but she's got to get through those first couple of matches.
With the grass court season, even though it has been elongated a little bit, it's still very short. How difficult is that to get ready for this and it's over in a flash?
Come on, players have got it much better than what we had that extra week now, which makes a big difference, and you don't feel that rush so much coming into Wimbledon, and a week does make a huge difference to the players, but it's always a big challenge. You spend 8 weeks on the clay, grinding and learning the clay court game, then quickly have to turn your attention to the grass, and most of the challenge, I think, is in the movement. All the players are hitting the ball great because of the clay. You've got to work so hard for your points. You feel the ball and you're hitting the ball well, but it all comes down to finding the feet under the grass under the feet and making sure you're moving well, and the players that adapt to that quicker are the players that get the wins.
When we were talking to Simona just now, she was saying that grass of all the surfaces was the one that's perhaps most challenging for her, the one that she wasn't most used to. In the time that you've been working with her, how have you managed to help her get more used to this surface?
I think it's time on court makes a big difference. I think the fact she didn't play Birmingham was a little bit of a blessing in disguise, because she could come here and practice on the courts and what they're playing Wimbledon on, so it's a little bit of a blessing in that sense. But spending time and just doing a lot of drills and exercises that have you stretched into the corners. You can't just expect to control the centre of the court. You've got to move into the corners and be able to get out there and also move back, and the players that do that well on grass have good success. You see in the men's game, the guys that move the best have dominated over here in the last few years, in Murray and Djokovic. So same in the women's game. You've got to play power tennis obviously, but you also need to move well.
And your other role for ESPN, you keep an eye on everything else. Firstly, can you preview the women's draw for us?
Look, Serena's coming into any event as the favourite. I think Muguruza did incredibly well in Paris, and conditions were great for her, and she had enough power to hit through those courts, and anybody who can beat one of the all-time greats in the final of a major is a heck of a player. So Muguruza and Serena will come in as the two favourites, and it's up to everybody else to chase them. But I think the great thing about the women's game this year, it's been pretty interesting in the sense a lot of players have had opportunities, different players have won tournaments. Serena is still the player to beat, but she's lost a couple of finals now. I think that my young lady's doing extremely well, so I think you could throw a dart at a dartboard and pick a number of players that would have a pretty good chance here, and it's who plays the best in the second week.
Question on the men's side really is, can anyone stop Novak?
That's a great question. It's the fact that Ivan's back in the camp of Andy makes it very different, because I feel that's when Andy was playing his best tennis a couple of years ago, and you can just see, I wasn't at Queen's, but he won Queen's, and you could just see him out here in the practice court yesterday, and he's walking a little bit taller. He's got that confidence, and he knows exactly what Ivan is about. But Novak, he's already an all-time great. What he's been able to achieve, winning the 4 majors in a row, hasn't been done since Rod Laver on the men's side, and regardless of anything that happens, he's an incredible player, and what he's been able to do has been remarkable in the era that he's playing in. And we've got some of the all-time greats playing right now in Federer and Nadal, and you throw Andy Murray in there as well. So for Novak to dominate the game, the way he's done the last couple of years, I don't think we've ever really seen that. Maybe since Rod Laver even.